Hey, what is up, Rap Fam? So before the video begins, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to 258 subscribers. I've grown maybe like 100 subscribers within the past 2 videos. I think one of them is at 7K views and the other one is at like 1.5. So we're doing really well. I'm standing in front of my customer's Escalade that I just finished wrapping. This car used to be dark gray, and now, as you can tell, it's gloss black through and through. If you guys are in the 209 and in need of any wrapping services, go ahead and hit me up at Jose Wraps on Instagram. Now, let's go see the Q. This is a 2017 Q50, full bolt-on pretty much, tuned on E30 by GoRacebox. I'm gonna be showing you guys, going through each of the mods, telling you how much they cost, as well as if I recommend them. First things first was the carbon fiber spoiler in the back. This was $165. Got this in LA. Actually, I think the first thing I did to my car in general, other than tint and stuff like that. As you can see, the carbon still looks fantastic. No yellowing, no fading, none of that. Still looks really good. The rear of the Q50s does have a really plain look without them, so it really did give it a nice little kick in the back, and it's one of my favorite things that I've done to the back side of the car. Next up, went ahead and got this carbon fiber window spoiler, whatever it's called, the rear window thing. This is from South Bay Auto Works. I was able to pick it up for a steal, $150. I don't know if I recommend this to everybody, but it kind of matched the spoiler, so I just went ahead and got it. Plus, I was kind of fiending for more carbon after I got that first part. Next up, the carbon diffuser. Carbon diffuser is 300 bucks. I did buy it used, that's why it's such a good price. But hit the key real quick, and you can see that the bottom lights up right there. One of my favorite features. So I do highly recommend getting a diffuser for this car. It does make the rear end look way more aggressive. You know, there are tons of different diffusers for the rear, but this is the one that I like. Next up, we got the carbon fiber diffuser extensions. I was able to get these for 100 bucks since they are used. It makes the whole back end kind of look like it's one piece. It looks crazy. I love it. So next up is the carbon fiber front lip. Really do love it. I'm not sure if I would recommend this to everybody because it was 500 bucks. It makes the car look crazy, but it was 500 bucks, and since it is carbon, you kind of want to watch out for it. So if you do plan on lowering your car a lot and you're okay with it, you know, just getting rock chips and stuff like that, as you can see, some little rock chips, then whatever, it's okay. But it has not cracked on me, nothing like that, and I do go a lot of different places, so I'm kind of surprised that it's still on there, you know. Next up was the carbon fiber side skirts right here. I went ahead and got the side skirts just because the rear end was done, the front end had some carbon, but the side was missing some carbon. So I went ahead and got the carbon side skirts. These are from South Bay Auto Works. I was able to pick them up for $450. I think they're a really good price, and especially since I already had, you know, the carbon in the back and the front, might as well add something to the side, right? Next up was the carbon fiber hood and fenders from Fly One Motorsports. So the hood and fenders are completely carbon fiber. They're just wrapped over, and the holes are covered up with some wrap because it is raining season, as you could tell. But the hood and fenders, I got them for a really good price. Hood and fenders, I paid $1,175 for the hood and $1,075 for the fenders. And I did get them for a really good price. I think I got them for a Black Friday deal. So it could have been maybe less than that, but when I looked it up, that's how much it is right now. But super unnecessary, the carbon hood and fenders. I did have a phase where they were exposed, and then I decided to just wrap over it. But if you guys want to see an exposed picture, I'll put one up. Now, obviously, if you do want your car to look insane, crazy, different, you know, not every Q50 has hood and fenders, so highly recommend that if you want your Q to stand out. The last thing is the engine cover that I got from my Q50, fully custom made. I'm the only one in the world that has this. and it is completely unnecessary and a waste of money. I paid 500 bucks for this, custom made, fully carbon fiber right here, as well as forged carbon right here. This was supposed to be forged as well. Not sure what happened, he just never did it that way. But the only reason I say it's not worth it, for me especially, just because I never really opened the hood or anything like that. So when I do open it, from the heat of the engine bay, you could tell that it has been yellowing just around the edges where this is right here. So I kind of don't like that, and I never really have my hood open, so unfortunately I don't really recommend it. Oh, one thing I did forget to add was the carbon fiber mirror caps. I forgot to add how much these are, just because they were a gift from my girlfriend. She gave these to me. I know she got these from South Bay Auto Works, so I'm not sure, they might be around $150, but I do really recommend these. They give the car a way more aggressive look, especially from the front. You can see it. So the last thing that I have that was carbon fiber is my steering wheel. So the steering wheel, here it is, you can see it, full carbon right here, carbon right here on the thumb grips, and I do have an Alcantara airbag cover, as well as carbon fiber red right here. Super nice. I got this from Jalisco Carbon Fiber, really good price. He had it in stock, so it really shipped out to me I think the next week, so I didn't have to wait weeks or anything like that, and it matched the color scheme of my car, so that's why I picked it up. I got this one and the airbag cover for $680, so super nice pickup, and I didn't have any wait time. Alright, so next up are the wheels, the Avant-Garde M520Rs. Super dope. I really like these wheels, especially when I bought them for the car. These were my dream wheels. Now I want some CE37s, of course, but these were gorgeous when I bought them. I think I paid $2,500 for these, for the wheels and the tires. Now these tires are different now, but the first ones I did go with some cheapo tires. But I did pay $2,500 for these. 19 by 8.5 in the front and 19 by 9.5 in the back. I would have gone 19 by 9.5 all around if I would have known the front would have been really pushed in. So I did get a 15mm spacer that you can see right there. Makes it look just a little bit more flush. I don't want to go too crazy because of the carbon fenders, but makes it look better. Next up was the Red Sport front bumper conversion. A lot of people asked me on one of my videos, where did I get this front bumper conversion? I got this on eBay. I went ahead and picked it up on eBay. It was 800 bucks. It was just regular plastic. It did come with the fog light bezel covers, which are these things right here. However, the paint that came on those, super bad, so I went ahead and repainted these. This is a metallic black with a hint of blue flake in it, so super nice in my opinion. And I went ahead and got the gloss black grille as well. All right, next up we have the half and half wrap. Now obviously I do wrap cars for a living, so for me it was only material cost and nothing else. I don't know exactly how much I think I paid for it. I think maybe $1,000 for material. So yeah, the labor was free obviously since I wrap cars. I did my car myself. Next up are the BC coilovers. Now the coilovers were one of my favorite things I added on the car, just because it gives it such a nice stance. You can see on the rear end it covers about maybe half of the tire, maybe a little less, maybe a quarter of the tire. Super nice. And the fronts have maybe about the same, maybe about a quarter of the tire. But one of my favorite mods for sure. I highly recommend BC coilovers to anyone who's looking for coilovers. I did pay I think $1,100 for those. And next up I want to show you guys my big brake kit that I haven't put on the car just yet. As you can see, I'm still rocking the stock brakes, but I do have everything ready. I just need one of my calipers to be painted, but I'll show you guys real quick. So here are the calipers. This is one of them, fully painted. The other one is right here inside this bag. I did get the front two Akebono calipers, stainless steel brake lines. I also got the drilled and slotted rotors, which are inside the bag for both the front and the back. And all of that came out to about, I think, 1,400 bucks. And that's without me including Akebono rear calipers, which were a lot more. So I decided I just wanted the fronts, and realistically, performance wise, I'm only gonna really need the fronts. If I wanted to do it for looks, I would do the rear as well, and I might end up doing them in the future, but for right now, just the fronts. Now, I don't know if I would recommend it to everybody, however, just because these brakes are fine. I'm only really mainly doing it for the looks, but when I do throw them on, I'm going to do a comparison of the regular stock brakes versus the big brake kits. So next up is performance. So I went ahead and I have the Alpha intake, the AMS intakes. They are a little dirty, but let me go ahead and wipe them down real quick. So the AMS intakes sound really good. I did run them without this shroud for a long time, and especially with the vented hood, you can see the air goes straight into that. You know, it's blocked right now because of the wrap, but it kind of almost lines up, and you can hear a super nice whoosh sound. And these are obviously on the more expensive side, being their AMS, but I got these for right around 500 bucks, I believe. And do I recommend these? Honestly, not really, just because the stock ones are fine. If you get the BMS inlet couplings, then they're basically right around doing the same thing. But I just like these because I took this off and you can hear that whooshing sound. But mostly I just got it because it was AMS, and I kind of wanted to go the whole theme AMS. Next thing, and probably one of my favorite mods that I can't believe I forgot to include in my last video, is my AMS heat exchanger. You can kind of tell like the side of it right there behind the grill, the other side over here. I did get that for right around $700, I believe, but in my opinion, it's my favorite mod that I've done to my Q50 by far. Next up were the AMS lower downpipes. Obviously you can't see them right here, but those were $450, and it makes the car sound way better, especially paired with the MBRP 3-inch catback exhaust. Matches up perfectly with the AMS 3-inch lower downpipes. People ask me, they are catless lower down, the AMS 3-inch catless lower downpipes with the MBRP catback exhaust. The MBRP catback exhaust was right around $950, and I highly recommend getting any sort of exhaust, especially any sort of catback setup for your Q50, because from the factory they are super quiet. And even when I just had the catback and no AMS downpipes, the car sounded really, really quiet. So if you do want a louder sound, I would recommend getting the lower downpipes. I would not recommend getting full downpipes, just because I've heard that it does get a lot of air to your turbos. So that's one thing to think about. I have come across a ton of people who have had issues when they do have their full downpipes in their cars. I've had a ton of friends have had their turbos blow out and stuff like that. And actually, right here, it does look really nice, I'm not gonna lie. But next up is the AMS flex fuel, and it's this sensor right here running all the way behind this, and it just makes sure that I can go anywhere from E30, actually anywhere from E85 to 91. However, I am tuned up to E30, so I'm only allowed to go pretty much E30. But this is the AMS flex fuel sensor V2. Connects all of this right here, connects it to the high pressure fuel pump. Not too bad to install, and I've actually installed everything on my car myself except for the lower downpipes and the exhaust. However, this was $250, and if you are going to go on E30 or E85, any sort of E-blend, I would highly recommend getting this flex fuel sensor V2 from AMS. Next up is the low pressure fuel pump from AMS. I also had to get that in order to run E30. I do know some people who run E30 without that. However, I believe that's only around $250. So I would recommend just getting it. The oil catch can. This is the Mishimoto oil catch can. I think I paid right around 200 bucks for this. I could be wrong, but I do highly recommend getting one of these for the VR30, especially because they do tend to seep oil into the turbo sometimes, and this does prevent it a lot. So the sooner you get this, really the better for the engine. All right, and lastly was getting it tuned. So I am remote tuned by EcuTech using the EcuTech software by GoRacebox. You can see here it is. This is the EcuTech module. Super cool. All you have to do really is just plug it in and then just follow the instructions that your tuner sends you. Super cool. So I'll actually turn on the car real quick. And all over the windows so you guys could hear. You go ahead and hit this button and you can change from map 1, 2, 3, and 4. Map 1 is daily, map 2 is Racebox, map 3 is Racebox Burbles, and map 4 is eco mode. So I do have a few different modes here, but I want you guys to go ahead and listen to the exhaust. It does sound really nice. I'll go ahead and actually see if you guys could listen to what it sounds like from the outside while I rev it from the inside. So let's see. So you can only do that really when you're tuned. That's the AMS lower downpipes paired with the MBRP 3-inch catback exhaust paired with the Burble tune from Racebox. And that alone was 1,700 bucks because I do have the E30 add-on. So I do know E30 right now is free. The E30 upgrade is free for a lot of people. However, when I did get the tune, it was not, so I had to pay for it. But I do recommend, I highly recommend tuning your VR30. Whether it be a Q60 or the Q50 3.0T, I highly recommend getting it just because it wakes up the car completely. Night and day difference, really no comparison. Now it did get dark out, so I went ahead and did a little crunch of numbers, and for the total that I've spent for the carbon fiber alone was $5,245, and that's for all of the carbon on the car, including the 150 that I added for the carbon fiber mirror caps that I don't even know if that's how much they cost. But other than that, for the wheels, tires, red sport front bumper, the half and half wrap, the BC coils, and brakes were another 6,800 bucks. So all of that included with the carbon comes out to $12,045 in just pure cosmetics, which honestly, I don't know if it's worth it. A lot of it is just mostly, well, you guys seen 5,245 of that is just carbon fiber. So if you really don't want to do carbon fiber, you can save yourself a lot of money. But you know, it doesn't matter. Already paid it, so it's not like you can go back in time. And then other than that, the performance parts, which is all of the AMS, including the tune, but all the AMS parts, comes out to a whopping $5,020. So really, if you're going straight for performance, you buy the car and you can put that much money in, and that'll get you on E30, which is right around 550 horsepower to the crank, around 470 to the wheels, without a dyno tune. That's remote tuning by Racebox. So including the performance and all of the cosmetics, it brings the total cost to $17,065. Now guys, I did not expect it to be that high. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was maybe like $10,000 total that I've spent, but that's not even including the price of the car. So the price of the car, I think I paid maybe $25 for it 2 years ago. So 25 plus the 1765 or whatever does come out to quite a lot of money. But I love this thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would trade it for a GTR actually, but I really do love this thing. And yeah, that's it. If you guys have any more video suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you guys for 258 subscribers. Hopefully we can grow this channel a lot more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.